Welcome to the deep dive.
Oh,
Okay, so our mission today really is to cut through some of that noise, and unlock the secret to purposeful action.
yeah.
We're diving deep into the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3 specifically, which just unpacks this incredible power of karma yoga.
hmm
It's all about how you can navigate, well, a world full of demands, find that clarity in your actions, and serve without getting completely lost.
It really is the perfect next step from where we left off, isn't it?
Definitely.
If you remember, we started this whole journey with Arjuna just completely overwhelmed, collapsing on the battlefield back in chapter 1.
Right, total despair.
Total despair.
Yeah.
And then chapter 2, Krishna starts revealing these, well, profound truths
Yeah.
about the soul, detachment, the yoga of wisdom,
Yeah, the deep stuff.
the deep stuff. But now Arjuna is still wrestling with this fundamental tension. It's one that, honestly, I think many of us feel pretty much daily.
Oh, absolutely. So Krishna's just laid out this amazing wisdom about the soul, about detachment, but then he tells him, okay, now fight.
Yeah, jarring, right?
Totally.
hmm
And Arjuna, quite reasonably, I think, asks, hang on, if knowledge, if wisdom is superior to action, why are you asking me to get involved in this horrible war?
hmm
And that's a question that really echoes, doesn't it? You might feel that in your own life. Like, if my spiritual goal is inner peace, why do I have to deal with the inbox, the projects, the difficult colleagues?
Why not just check out? Yeah.
Right. Why not just withdraw from all this external mess?
Is the classic spiritual paradox, that friction. And Krishna's answer, his immediate answer to Arjuna, is incredibly direct. It really sets the whole stage for karma yoga.
What does he say?
He says pretty much, look, no one can remain without action, not even for a moment. Even sitting still doing nothing, that's an action in itself.
Oh,
The
okay.
profound point here, the shift, is that it's not whether you act because you have to, but the spirit, the intention, the quality behind your action. That's what truly matters.
Okay, so if action is just, well, unavoidable, then what does karma yoga actually mean? How do we act with that different kind of spirit?
Right. Yeah, good question. At its heart, karma yoga means doing your duty, your dharma, which is kind of like your inherent purpose or the right action for you in that
A
moment.
specific role.
Your specific role, exactly. Doing that without being attached to the results, to the outcomes.
Okay.
It means acting without your ego, taking the driver's seat,
Yeah.
and acting as like an offering to something higher than just your personal gain or, fleeting desires.
So it's not about running away from the world.
Not at all. It's not about renouncing your job or your family. It's about being fully in the world, engaged, contributing, but without getting tangled up in all its hooks, all the drama and desire.
That sounds, well, it sounds pretty radical,
Okay.
especially today, right? So much of what we do is driven by needing that external pat on the back.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about it, like on social media, getting the promotion, wanting people to praise us. It's constant.
Mhm.
What Krishna is describing here is a massive shift in why we do things.
Right.
He tells Arjuna, basically, others act out of selfishness, you act out of service.
It's a powerful distinction.
It really is. And it's not just a nice idea, is it? It feels like a practical blueprint for, like, purifying your actions, performing your work, whatever it is, coding, teaching, parenting is a form of worship almost, not just a way to get something for yourself.
And this ties into something really relevant today. Burnout.
Yeah, big topic.
Huge. Most of us think burnout comes from just doing too much, too many hours, too many tasks.
Makes sense.
It does on the surface. But what karma yoga suggests is something deeper. It often stems less from the sheer volume of action and more from the quality of our attachment to the results of those actions.
So it's the worrying, the hoping, the fearing about the outcome.
Exactly. We get exhausted not just by the work itself, but by that relentless mental churning, the expectation, the fear of failure, the craving for success, the need for validation. That's the real drain.
So here's where it gets really practical for you listening. Imagine, say, a chef pouring their heart into every single cut, every spice blend, the plating.
On the craft.
Yeah, the craft. Doing it not primarily for the Michelin star or the customer applause, maybe not even just the profit, but for the love of the food itself, the integrity of the process, the joy of creation.
That's it. That's the essence of action without attachment.
It teaches you to work from that place of alignment, doesn't it? To serve without constantly needing a reward sticker. To approach your duties with a real sense of purpose, not just like passive indifference or obligation.
And it completely transforms your relationship with everything, your work, your chores, your interactions. And Krishna pushes it even further with another statement that really challenges, our usual way of thinking.
Which one is that?
He says, It's better to fail in your own duty than succeed in someone else's.
Wow, okay. Unpack that. That sounds counterintuitive. Better to fail.
Right. It's not saying failure is the goal. It's about radical authenticity. It's saying stick to your path,
Yeah.
your dharma, what's right for you, even if it's harder, even if you stumble, rather than chasing success on a path that isn't yours.
That really hits close to home. I mean, we live in a world that is just obsessed with comparison.
Absolutely.
You scroll through social media, you see someone else's perfect-looking life or career, and it's so easy to start questioning everything you're doing. Am I doing enough? Am I on the right track?
The comparison trap.
Totally. But Krishna's words here feel like permission. Permission to focus on your own journey, your path, your dharma. It's uniquely yours. Walk it with sincerity, with integrity. Don't worry about matching someone else's highlight reel or their definition of perfection.
It's incredibly liberating when you really let that sink in. It frees you from that constant external pressure.
Yeah, liberation is a good word for it.
So as we've kind of journeyed through this chapter, chapter 3, a few really powerful truths, I think, have surfaced. Things that can genuinely reshape how we approach our day.
Okay, let's recap those.
First, and this is the bedrock, action is inescapable. You simply cannot not act. So the wisdom isn't in avoiding action, it's in acting with awareness, deep awareness.
Right. And flowing directly from that is the second key point. Doing your duty, your part, without being glued to the results. It's about putting in your absolute best, pouring your energy into the process, but then letting go of the outcome. I like thinking of it like a gardener, you know?
How so?
Well, a good gardener prepares the soil perfectly, plants the seed carefully, waters it, gives it sun. They do everything right in the process.
Right. Total commitment to the action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't stand there demanding that the flower blooms exactly like the picture on the seed packet on this specific day. They trust the process. They release the outcome.
That's a great analogy. It captures that detachment beautifully. And a third crucial insight Krishna gives us is about what gets in the way.
The obstacles.
Yeah. Desire and ego. He identifies these as the main forces that cloud our judgment, distort our actions, and ultimately lead to suffering.
Okay, so desire and ego are the problem. How do we deal with them? He talks about burning them away.
He does. He talks about burning them away with the fire of wisdom. But what does that actually look like, practically speaking?
Yeah, how do you light that fire?
Well, it's not about like violently suppressing your feelings or desires. It's more about cultivating this sharp, honest self-awareness in the moment you're about to act or while you're acting.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Like, let's say you're about to send an important email at work. Just before you hit send, pause. Ask yourself honestly, why am I sending this? Is my main driver here to get praise from my boss? Or is it to genuinely share important information or solve a problem?
Ah, checking the motivation.
Exactly. That moment of honest self-inquiry, that pause, that awareness that is the fire of wisdom starting to purify your intention, it burns away the ego-driven motive, hopefully.
So it's about the why behind the action, constantly checking in.
Constantly checking the why. And when you bring that kind of awareness, that kind of detachment from the fruits to your tasks, something shifts.
How so?
Your work starts to transform. Even mundane things, they can become, well, sacred.
Sacred. How do you mean?
It elevates the action. It stops being just a chore you have to get through or just a means to an end like a paycheck. It becomes an act of purpose, an act of service, a spiritual connection in itself. You find the sacred right there in the ordinary.
Finding the sacred in the mundane. I like that. It makes the everyday feel potentially profound.
Precisely. So as you, listening, reflect on this deep dive into karma yoga, maybe consider this question. What is your battlefield right now? It might not be a literal war zone like Arjuna's.
Probably not.
Probably not. But what is your current challenge, your situation? What is your karma, your sacred duty, your necessary action that you're facing in this moment?
That's a powerful question to sit with. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever your personal battlefield is, the essence of karma yoga seems to encourage one clear path forward.
Which is?
Don't run away from it. Don't cling desperately to specific outcomes or results. Just serve. Do your part with all your heart, with zero expectation, really, and with full awareness of why you're doing it.
That's it. That is karma yoga in action.
Yeah.
It's not about passivity. It's about finding real spiritual strength right there in the middle of motion, in the doing.
A powerful way to live and act. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the yoga of action.
Our pleasure.
Next time, we're going to go even deeper. We'll explore Chapter 4, Jnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. Krishna starts unveiling even more profound layers